Well, a partnership between Pista Ventures and Box Durban has now developed a web-based platform to track what's happening on the ground during the aftermath of the floods in KwaZulu-Natal. You log an entry, a pin pops up on the map with the details. That data is then used by NGOs and relief organizations to provide help and to take help to people in need. Well, we're joined now by Mthembu Director at Pista Ventures. And good afternoon to you. This is incredible work. How does it actually work? How does the system function?
Well, first and foremost, we're trying to provide a data-driven approach to disaster management and disaster response. And what we're trying to do is to give visibility on what's happening. So a typical citizen would see an image and not necessarily know where that incident is happening. So what we're doing is essentially matching someone who needs something at the particular time and someone who can assist. So we've clustered into 5 ways. So people need food, shelter, water and sanitation, communications, and access to electricity. And those are sort of the 5 major things that we've seen.
How do you verify the information?
Cool. So we've done a similar exercise like this, and we took a lot of learnings from the previous civil unrest in the way that Durban and KwaZulu-Natal is spread. And from those learnings, we're able to pick up that verification is very important. So what we do here is that an individual that is needing assistance goes onto the tool, logs with what it is that they need. They put their name and their cell phone number, and they have 2 options, either to manually input an address or to use the GPS function so that we can pick up their location, and then they log their need, and then they submit it.
So that basically means that you can actually contact the person to make sure that the person actually exists. It makes it bot-proof.
100%.
Is the information free to access? I mean, is this open source? Can anyone go on the website and see what people need?
Certainly. So what we've tried to do is to democratize information. And so what this means is that as immediately as someone registers a need on the tool, the pin pops up on the map. Equally, when someone can then say that they have help, it immediately pops up to the tool. So both sides of the equation can see what is happening.
So the information then becomes free. Are you finding that there's a lot of interest in it? Are you finding that people are actually picking up on this? I mean, it is the quickest way. I can't see a quicker way to find out what people need.
Certainly, and I think our approach has been one of partnership. So we believe in a strong social compact, and so we've partnered and reached out to a lot of local NGOs that play in the space of disaster management and disaster relief. And the information that they're finding, more so the types of needs and the locations, is proving to be of good value to them.
You're obviously targeting, I mean, I would think that this is very useful for government as well. They're the ones who, it'll be government who has to provide electricity, for example.
Certainly. So from a very low level, what's happening and what we're noticing and the trends that we're seeing on the tool is that there's smaller sort of micro opportunities. So this means that your neighbor, for example, doesn't have water, and you can walk on over and hand them a 5-liter bottle. So those are some of those things that we've seen. But from a very high level, we're able to see the types of interventions that are needed. And what this assists, especially government and civil society organizations, is where best to intensify their efforts and where best to direct resources in the most effective and efficient way.
In Nkululeko, I mean, the only flaw that I could see, and I mean, it's amazing work, is that so many of the cell phone towers have had problems. Now, they're obviously getting fixed, and they'll get fixed pretty quickly. But it shows you how we rely on data, but it also shows you the power of data if you use it correctly.
Certainly. Certainly. And I mean, on this one as well, because it's so open, it's so free, people can register on behalf of other people. So, for example, if you see a crisis that is happening and you are dead certain that you know exactly where the place is and the type of intervention is needed, then you can sort of log it on behalf of someone else. So that's what I said earlier on when we meant talking about democratizing information. So making information in real time that is data-driven, allowing stakeholders to make strong decisions.
Mthembu, it's amazing. Thank you, Director at Pista Ventures. Shows you how quickly the world is changing.